Majority of my trip in Joburg was more about fun, experiences, food, and really more of the vibe. But I was happy when I got the opportunity to find out about the culture and history of the country, but not the history that everybody knows. In this video, I went to visit Pretoria. Pretoria is another capital city in South Africa and is just about an hour's drive from Johannesburg. Now today we are in a totally different township. This is called Pretoria, okay? So it's actually the capital of SA, not Joburg like a lot of people think. Joburg is basically like the place where everybody comes for work, like Accra, London, Lagos. But Pretoria is the capital of the country. We're about to see what this place has in store for us. Here we got to visit two major tourist destinations that fed our minds and also our eyes. Johnny?
Also to celebrate.
Oh, celebrate as well.
To celebrate with the wedding. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
So this is, yeah, this is what a matter. So what they do, they just sit on it, you know? Oh, it's a picnic blanket.
Made out of what, bamboo?
Straw. Yes.
We learned about the story of freedom fighters and activists like Solomon Malagu. Solomon was hanged in 1979 and charged with a crime that he didn't commit just because he was at the scene of the crime. When he was hanged, he was seen as very courageous. He wanted the message of his blood that will nourish the tree of freedom. Then he died at 22 and now buried in Mamelodi.
Welcome to Mamelodi, guys. Mamelodi, the city of dreams, the home of champions. Those who follow football, they will know.
Mamelodi, Sundown.
Yeah, you know, it's in the map, ne? Yeah, the city of champions,
the Sundowns.
Mamelodi Sundowns. And guys, I welcome you here in Mamelodi. First thing first, I'm going to do it streetwise, ne? So that you can have that township feeling, the township lingo, the township style, so that when you live here, you have got your experience, you have enjoyed. We do always what we call edutainment. You get educated and entertained at the same time.
November the 11th was the massacre, and people came to protest and ended up dying. A lot of shoes were left in this city, and still victims are here and they are now crippled.
It is exactly how it was.
Every year around November the 21st, people gather and they come here to say prayers and remember those who passed away. There's a lot of struggle in this township, and at a point it was very sacred. On the 30th of October is Mamelodi Day, and this is where they celebrate that this is a black township. That is a song that they sing to remember the young Solomon who saved his life, or used his life to represent, or used his life actually to be there for the freedom of the future. also had the opportunity to visit an environmentalist, Ephraim Mamemna.
When we left Sonomatlangu, that we are going to Motung African Heritage Site. Ne? So Ntate Mabena is going to take over. He's going to introduce himself, and I'm going to give him the reins to tell you all about the sites and everything, because he's the one behind everything here, ne? The vision and everything here. So Ntate Mabena.
Thank you. Welcome everybody.
Please, if you can pay attention, it will help you.
My name is Ntata Buletseke Kebisaka Mabena. I'm a traditional medicine practitioner. I'm an environmentalist. My practice and belief system is IKS, Indigenous Knowledge. Why I preach about indigenous knowledge? It is because I want to emphasize that there is this tendency when it's Heritage Month, we tend to wear indigenous clothes and talk our language. After that, we go back to the colonizers' language. A little bit of this history, the history about this area, we are on top of Makhalis Mountain. This is the strip of the mountain start from Rustenburg. It's a mountain that is having quite a number of information in terms of plants. It's a mountain that is having a very powerful history in terms of wars. And as well is a place that we as indigenous knowledge holders, we take it very serious as a sacred place. Like any other place, other places have caves, they don't have mountains. Other places have sea, they don't have mountains. Other places have oceans and so forth. But these places like these are very, very important that to take care of them. We can talk a big English, have a hell of an English and talk about climate change. But if we don't know exactly how to preserve and protect using an indigenous ways of preserving our natural, what you call places, we will always be.
Throughout this trip, it gave a reminder of how much of a spirit of resilience and collective growth there was in South Africa, especially Pretoria. It is obvious that South Africans really do love their homeland. He was very inspiring. He was able to restore and reform a former dump site. He has done many things with this place right now, and on top of this hill is where we can see the whole of Pretoria. Another part of the South African culture I learned was that South Africans love to drink. It is known that most adults in South Africa consume more alcohol than most adults in other countries. Alcohol is known to be part of the culture, not just when you're at events, but I learned it is used to welcome guests, pair with food, just with friends, business meetings, and even to settle disagreements. Whilst I was in South Africa, I had the opportunity to sample some of their local and popular ciders and wines. Definitely, I'd say, when it comes to South Africa, their wine is number one on my list. Here, to end our time at Pretoria, we were at a bar. Now, this was on a Monday night. This is where South Africans usually gather for Mohodu Mondays, an event where they gather to eat tripe, also known as cow intestines. Now, this apparently is used to sober them up and get them ready for the rest of the week. But they also end up partying and drinking even more. Definitely, it was an experience.